In this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips if you're just starting out 3D renderings. My name is Katarina, I'm a garden designer, and I see you next. Welcome to another Garden Design Tools video. In this video, I'm going to talk about 5 things for you to think about if you just started getting into the 3D world, okay? So this is 5 suggestions, 5 things for you to take in consideration if you're just starting out, okay? So really important. First comes the design, okay? If you used to seeing my renderings in Lumion or other programs from other landscapers that do amazing work, you used to getting all this lush planting and all this, and the great renderings only work because the design came first, okay? If you just step over the design part, if the layout is not properly implemented in your model, okay, you're going to see it. You're going to be able to see it when it comes into field view, the rendering, okay? You might cut some corners, and if you're doing a rendering from a really close-up angle that you just see some planting and material and the furniture, people might not notice that the design is not there, but eventually to your client you're going to have to show the whole idea, the whole layout, okay? And it's going to see, it might look amazing, the images, but if you didn't thought properly about the layout, about the structure of your project, this is going to come through eventually. So what I really want to focus in this first tip is really get the design. If you're doing this by hand, 2D plans, really get the design first, okay? Do it by hand, do whatever you used to do it, and then you implement it into SketchUp, thinking about how the structure works and how the layout is going to work. But everything from the planting to the design of the garden should be thought beforehand, even before SketchUp, okay? So when you're doing in SketchUp, you already know what's the planting going to look like because you have this idea of planting, okay? So the workflows works better, it works quicker, plus it's going to look much better, okay, in the end. So really important, design first, programs and renderings later, okay? Don't get seduced by amazing planting and just start putting a mix of planting together without really great thought beforehand, okay? So it's really important. All the planting, all the design, it should be before any implementation in a 3D program, okay? Being SketchUp, Twinmotion, Lumion, whatever you're working with, okay? So that's tip number 1. Okay, tip number 2, you are a landscaper, probably if you're watching this video, a garden designer or someone works with the outdoors, creating amazing gardens. You are not a CG artist, okay? So tip number 2, you are a garden designer or a landscaper or a landscape architect or someone that works with the outdoors. You are not a CG artist, okay? So when you're looking for programs to work with, to invest your time learning, it should really be about the optimal programs for you, that they are quick, efficient, that you can get quick design ideas, renderings through your client. There are programs that create amazing photorealistic images, but they are probably not for you. Just if you buy, because you love it so much, you really want to get into it, but not to make your design ideas sell, okay? We really should focus on choosing programs that they are going to transform your design ideas fairly quickly, fairly easy, that they have a lot of potential in terms of how can you present the ideas to your client, being still images, renderings, VR experiences, etc. Programs like Twinmotion and Lumion, basically, for me, and even SketchUp just. I think it should really focus on programs like that and not programs, in my opinion, like Studio Max or any other big that they are used for creating amazing animations, amazing imagery, but they are probably not for a more practical side of a studio, of a garden design studio or a landscape architect studio. Okay, maybe a bigger studio, of course, will have someone just focus on that, and then you see what programs you want to use. But if you're a solo worker, if you just you or maybe another team worker, or if it's just you in terms of the work in the design part, you should really focus on practical programs with a lot of potential, but that transform the 2D to 3D to amazing renderings and animations of your work. Okay, so that's really important. See the description of this video, I go a little bit more into it, but that's my tip number 2. Tip number 3, once the choice of programs that are made, okay, once you've chosen the program you want to use, it being SketchUp, being Revit and Twinmotion, or Revit and Lumion, or SketchUp and Lumion like I do, just really stick with them and really invest your time, invest all the spare time you have in learning and taking the most advantage of that software. It's really important to don't jump from one software to the other, because you're not really gonna ever take full advantage of that software if you don't put the hours in. Okay, so that's really important. That's something I think is really, because now that you've seen, you probably follow me on Instagram if you're watching this video, and I create amazing renderings now. I really like it, but I know I've been working in Lumion for maybe since 2006, probably. Since 2008 probably. So that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time with a lot of versions of Lumion. So, of course, the program is being improved a lot, more vegetation, amazing lighting in the renderings, but it comes with skills of knowing the best angles and just a lot of mistakes everything comes with practice. So if it takes you time to get good at one program, being SketchUp and Lumion or any other program, you really should invest your time on it, okay? Online courses, I think they shortcut a little bit the beginning of that learning curve, okay? When you're just starting out, I think it might be important to get an online course just to help you out and for you to keep motivated, because if you're not really into it, if you don't see results straight away, you might get motivated to keep experiment with the programs. I think the online courses shortcut a little bit that initial learning curve, but after it's really up to you, and it's really keep that thing going, okay? Really invest your spare time getting better at something. Don't give up on your software, stick with it, and don't jump from one thing to another, okay? So that's my thoughts on software. Tip number 4, when choosing the programs, okay, before you start learning, actually, when you thinking about what programs you want to invest in, really think, really have one thing in consideration. Study a little bit, or go in and research a little bit the company behind that software. If they are a very small company, check it out if they're really sustainable, if you can have some research about it, if you can study a little bit the company on LinkedIn, what they are doing, because you want to invest in a program that's going to be around, that's going to be updated, that's going to have improvements, because this is a constantly moving world. The technology is always improving. Amazing things like VR are here already, and it's really important to invest your time in a program that's going to keep updating. Okay, so that's why I like the subscription method of some programs right now. Even Lumion, it comes up with a subscription, because you have that initial fee, but after, if you want to keep the updates, is 1,000 a year. You're not obligated to do the updates, but of course you're gonna want to do it. So, but that's a way of for the companies to be sustainable as well, okay, for them to keep improving, okay. So SketchUp did the same, Trimble did the same with SketchUp, so you have now a subscription that's around 300 a year. So I think that's a good thing, if you can, just because you make sure that the companies around, that they are sustainable and they're gonna keep update the software. So I think that's really important, okay? Because if you really want to invest, it will be, imagine now that I invest all this time in Lumion and working, and it's such a big part of my work for my clients, and suddenly they disappear, or suddenly you're not going to see any more updates. It will be like a big thing for me, you know. Of course, you might not see it in 1 year, 2 years, but other problems will come up in the market, better things, and better lighting, whatever. Things are keeping improving all the time. So it's really important that you invest your money in a good program, but that has behind a good company as well, a good team that they're going to keep updating and working on it. Okay, so that's my tip number 4. Tip number 5. When you're choosing the software, think about what you want to achieve, what your skills at, and how much do you enjoy this, how much work you want to put into it, okay? Because it's going to take a big investment of you to start learning 1 or 2 softwares, but see something that's appealing to you, that works already with your workflow. If you are in a Mac system, for example, or if you're in a PC system, you're going to have to choose the software accordingly. See how much money you want to invest in, and really see what you need, what you want to achieve. Do you want to just create 3D images and animations is one thing. Do you want a full BIM modeling system, that's going to have all your technical information? It's another thing, okay? But the learning curve is much, much bigger. So really, really see first what you want to achieve with your software, okay? So that's my tips to start with in the 3D world. Don't get too much so that's my tips to start. So that's my tips to start in the 3D world. Don't get too worried about how much software you want to learn. My suggestion is always start with SketchUp. I think SketchUp is an amazing tool. You can start if you're just coming from the 2D world, if you're just drafting in paper 2D plans. SketchUp is an amazing tool. You can start playing around. It's pretty simple. It's fairly easy to learn, and it has a lot of potential after, okay? So that's my suggestion if you're just starting out. You have other programs like Twinmotion has a free version right now, non-commercial. So you could just, after learning the basics in SketchUp, start getting vegetation in Twinmotion, okay? These programs are really the future, in my opinion. Decent programs like Vectorworks, etc., okay? I've done a video about using Oculus Go. Okay, I'm gonna do one, and this was in Lumion. I'm gonna do one for Twinmotion, and I have to tell you, I knew Lumion could done it. I haven't used it yet in a client, okay, because I need to get, there is some paper things you can buy for the Oculus Go in term, just a bit more hygienic, because I don't want to share my Oculus Go with with all my clients, But I need to buy it. There is on Amazon. Anyway. But it's amazing. It's just still images. I would love to have animations, but because you can choose the height, okay? So you have an eye view, when you put the goggles on, and you in your project all around, okay? And it's amazing. It's amazing. It's just such a simple experience, but when you have the goggles, is an amazing thing to see, and it really gonna wow your clients, okay? I can't wait to really start sharing this with my clients. I'm not going to do for every project, but that that special projects, I think it's a good idea. I'm going to do a video soon in Twinmotion because I want to check it out to see if it's possible. I know that they have 360 and panorama, but I want to see if I can put it in the Oculus Go. Anyway, I want to say thank you to all the subscribers. We just gone through 500, so we're 522 at the moment. So thank you very much. Plus all the Instagram followers, we've achieved 5,073 followers. So thank you very much, guys. And I'm going to start doing more videos. This has been very busy weeks. because I have my own practice here in Portugal. So, but I'm gonna start getting more videos done as well. Okay, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye. Just a quick thing before you go, I'm gonna be updating my twin motion course for garden designers. So if you're interested, let me know. If you're curious, I'm gonna add the link in the description of this video. Okay, see you guys in the next one.